everyone, I'm back with some Malifaux battle reports. It's been a while, but I've been really interested in Malifaux lately, and I have a friend here with me who has decided that he'll join me for some video recording. Let's get right into it. Here's my Viktoria of Ashes crew for 50 soul stones.
My name is Clinton. I also do battle reports. You can find a link to my blog in the description down below. And this is my 50 Soulstone Molly crew.
So here we see my deployment. The main idea is to move Lazarus up the center, using his 2 armor to tank some hits and contest the informant marker, while my convict gunslingers and trapper try to shoot any exposed rezzers and hopefully activate my Viktoria Blood last to get some nice whirlwinds on bunches of models.
Here is Molly's deployment. Molly's standing next to Sybil, the dead Doxy, the Carrion Effigy, and the Nurse. I also have Yin, Philip Nanny, and the Graveyard Spirit off in the corner and blocking line of sight from Arthur's sniper. In my first activations, I moved the Carrion Effigy up and dropped a scheme marker for Philip. I also moved up Madame Sybil and called Belle, bringing Molly up to the front.
This is just a shot of my trapper trying to shoot the Doxy, but failing big time.
Here, Yin moves up and drops a scheme marker for Philip. The dead Doxy takes the lead on Philip, pushing him into the forest. And Philip then discards the scheme markers to draw cards.
At this point, all my models have activated, so now I just have to see what kind of lovely things Molly has left to summon for me.
And summon Molly did. She moved up and summoned a punk zombie into Lazarus and the other models. Unfortunately, the models were too far apart for me to get 3 within the bubble. The punk zombie sliced and diced and failed miserably, unable to do any damage.
Yeah, that was a good chain of cards for me for willpower duels from the summoning and slice and dice from the punk zombie. This is what the game looks like at the end of turn 1. Obviously no scores yet. We'll see who wins initiative. Looks like I won initiative, and Malifaux Child went first, casting Sisters in Fury, giving +2 damage to all the sisters in play on their melee weapons.
I was a little concerned with how exposed Molly was, so before retreating, she summoned a drown next to Lazarus, and then prompted the punk zombie to attack Lazarus. Molly then accomplice into Sybil, who moved forward and shrieked at the convict gunslinger.
So my models have taken a little bit of a beating. Lazarus is down to 2 wounds, and the gunslinger I think took about 3 out of his 8. My next decision was to activate Viktoria of Ashes, who came over here and killed the drowned and the punk zombie before either of them could activate and finish off Lazarus. I had a good idea now that his quick murder target was Lazarus because he was really trying hard and putting a lot of activations into trying to take him down.
Lazarus is a really disgusting model to deal with, so I definitely took him as my quick murder target. I'm working hard on putting him down, but in this picture you can see the effigy dropping another scheme marker for Philip and moving forward, trying to get into that turf 4 bubble.
So it was at this point I saw an opportunity to try and take out Molly and the carrion effigy. I succeeded in doing one of those things with a nice whirlwind. Viktoria Blood went up and charged Molly after popping her Oathkeeper. And I've never actually played Molly before, so I wasn't sure how survivable she was. Turns out, with a couple of her triggers, she can end up mitigating a lot of damage. So I only left her on 3 or 4 wounds.
Looking at the markers around Lazarus, looks like I forgot to mention that before Molly moved away, she was actually able to paralyze Lazarus with a solid attack. Yin then moved forward and used Gnawing Fear to put Lazarus on negative flips for the rest of the turn, making it almost a guarantee that I'm putting him down.
Massive Viscera is pretty annoying on Yin, so I make sure to attack him with models that have built-in positive twists to their attack. So the Gunslinger went up and failed miserably at doing anything to Yin. Next activation.
Here my nurse moves up and tries to make the Vic of Blood take her medication, but unfortunately Vic of Blood says no. She then accomplices into Philip and the Nanny, who discards the scheme markers around him to draw some more cards.
My second Gunslinger moves up, I believe not using Oathkeeper this turn, and just pops a shot into Sybil, doing not a lot, if anything.
My Doxy took the lead on Lazarus, and between pounce attacks and regular attacks was able to take Lazarus down, scoring me 3 points for a quick murder.
Vic of Ashes moves up and shoots Yin a couple times, dealing some damage, but again, I just wanted those positive flips to actually be able to hit Yin.
At this point, Molly's on some really low wounds, and I'm very concerned for her survivability. So I decide to bring the Graveyard Spirit over from Philip to Molly to help her boost her defense.
Lastly, Vanessa goes, focuses, and zaps Yin off the table. I needed to do so because I wanted to even out my twists so I could actually cheat if I missed, which was important. And here, at the end of the turn, it looks like I scored one from Show of Force, and I believe we both scored from the strategy. Alright, I won initiative again. First activation, Viktoria of Ashes moves up, casts her Sister's Fury spell, because I wanted to get it off quickly while doing some damage, instead of activating the Malifaux Child first. And I charged Sybil, but didn't finish her off.
Molly goes again as my first activation. Without a good clump of models to summon into, I focus on Vic of Blood. I whisper Secret to put her on negative flips until the end of the turn, and then Accomplice into the nurse, who paralyzes her.
Next, my first combat gunslinger tries to pop a few shots into the dead Doxy. I think I made her slow by the looks of things, but didn't finish her off.
This game isn't going to go well for me if I can't get the Victorias down, so my Doxy charges the Viktoria of Ashes, doing 2 damage.
Using Vanessa's ability to search the 3 top cards in my deck, I saw that the Red Joker was coming and decided to charge her into Sybil, doing Red Joker damage, and I think I killed her because I had my spell up for damage. And then I did a melee expert attack into what was left of the dead Doxy, and also took her out. So good activation, Vanessa.
There aren't any scheme markers around that I'm willing to sacrifice to get some cards, so Philip just goes defensive too.
I move my Trapper up twice in preparation to start laying down some Search the Ruins scheme markers.
I decide to get aggressive with my Graveyard Spirit, and he moves around Molly to get engaged with Viktoria of Blood, actually managing to hit Viktoria, doing 1 damage.
My last activation of turn 3 sees the Convict Gunslinger charge the nurse and not finishing her off. And I think I probably forgot to mention, it looks like Viktoria of Blood didn't activate, or just activated and cleared paralyzed, and her health has been going up and down all over the board from various heals from things like the Malifaux Child and Vanessa. I score 1 point for the strategy and move the marker a little bit, and I score 1 point for Show of Force again.
Unfortunately, Molly didn't draw good cards for summoning, so she decided to go on the offensive. She attacked Viktoria of Ashes, killing her, and then focused on Vanessa, trying to put her on negative flips but failing, but then hitting her for moderate damage and giving her slow.
Vic of Blood goes now, and she can actually do something, not paralyzed anymore. She whirlwinds the nurse and the Graveyard Spirit to death.
I'm concerned that I don't have enough scheme markers down for Search the Ruins, so Philip runs forward and drops his scheme marker.
I forgot to mention that Viktoria of Blood actually did a heal flip, and when she killed the Graveyard Spirit and healed a couple on both the sisters. So now Vanessa's up to 7 and Vic of Blood is up to 5. This is the Convict Gunslinger shooting at Philip the Nanny, got the slow trigger and did a couple points of damage. The other Convict Gunslinger finishes off Philip the Nanny. Trapper moves up, lays down Search the Ruins marker number 1, and Vanessa activates. She was slow from Molly, so she puts down with her 1 AP the second Search the Ruins marker. And then the Malifaux Child just walks up, tries to do oh, look, no, it looks like I did a heal flip here on Vanessa. And then this is the state of the board after I score another one for the strategy. And I think I've maxed out on Show of Force now.
This was a Hail Mary effort by Molly. She was really trying to get that last scheme marker down for Search the Ruins. Tried to walk away, unfortunately failed, so she decided to focus her actions on Vanessa, hitting her for severe damage and actually paralyzing her.
So my Convict Gunslinger at the bottom here just puts down the last Search the Ruins marker. So at the end of the game, I managed to score 3 full points for having 2 on the opponent's portion of the board and 1 on my portion of the board. So the game ended here with no turn 6. I don't think there needed to be one. The only thing that I could see happening is perhaps Molly managing to score a couple more points from laying down scheme markers if she could finagle a way to not be engaged and put some down while also disengaging from combat. Seems kind of unlikely, but hey, stranger things have happened.
So although this was a low-scoring game for Molly, I feel like I did chose well with my schemes. Molly's usually pretty good for Search the Ruins. Just the Victorias are just killing too much that I was unable to put enough markers down. Definitely got that quick murder off, and unfortunately was not able to get good card draws or even card draws from Philip to get the kind of summons I was looking for. Anyway, thanks so much for watching.